Hello and happy Easter on this beautiful spring day. This is exactly what you imagine what Easter's going to be like. A nice bit of sunshine, not too hot, and 4 days just to crack on with gardening jobs. Not quite. I'm trying to get a few things in around some social engagements and also the weather. My free day is actually tomorrow, which is Bank Holiday Monday, and I think the weather's going to change, so the idea of getting outside to actually plant a few things out and do a bit of weeding might not be realistic, but there's plenty of other jobs I can do. So join me in this video when I'll definitely be potting on my tomatoes, and we'll see what else we get up to. Whilst I'm here, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who's subscribed. I've noticed over the past month that my following has almost doubled, so if we can keep on at that pace, 500 by the end of spring and maybe 1,000 by the end of summer, it'll be a real success. So thanks again, and I hope you enjoy what you see. The weather's not been as nice today. It's been pouring down the rain. Thankfully we've got a break in there and the sun's come out for my video, which is nice. But I thought today I would show you how I pot on my tomatoes. There are a couple of things to think about when you're doing this, but you know, if you have seen some of my earlier videos, you would have seen me sow these into trays, and I've then pricked them out once the true leaves came out and popped them into these modules here. I think they're ready now to really move on. If I left them any longer, they get quite leggy, and I don't really want that. So I want some nice, strong, compact plants. And what you need to think about first of all is what you're going to move your plants onto. So this is the kind of size I like to use. Given the choice, I'd always go with the square ones because they're nice and neat and tidy. But a round one is absolutely fine. If you haven't got pots like this, you can get a disposable cup. In America, you've got those red cups and you can just drill holes in the bottom and use those. They work absolutely perfectly. So again, when you're handling these plants, you want to be careful. They're a little bit easier to handle now, but still try and move them from their leaves if possible. So I'm just going to start by pricking one of these out and showing you what they look like. There we go. That's a lovely compact plant there with a nice root system, which is what you want to see. So this Silver Grow peat-free compost has actually been really good. I had a few issues with some weeds popping up in it, and I emailed them to have a chat with them, and they said something had gone slightly wrong with the batch, but in the end it's worked absolutely fine, and they're really good actually. They're a fantastic customer service team there. So what we'll do now is I'm just going to load up one of my pots with a little bit of compost, and I'll show you how I'll pot this on. I'm just going to put a little bit in the bottom because there is a little trick with these. I'm going to come around the front there and show you something. So what you've got to think about when you are potting on something like this is that all these, hopefully it's in focus, all these little hairs down here on the plant stem, they will turn into roots. So you want to bury this pretty much up to here, I'd say, and just have this top bit out, and then that's going to send out loads of roots, strong roots, which are going to give us a strong plant in the long run. It's not the same with every vegetable plant, but it's definitely very true of tomatoes that you can do this. So back round and we'll get it potted up. It's quite a simple process. It's quite a nice thing to do as well. Nice way to spend the afternoon. So I've just got a little bit of compost in the bottom there, and as I say, I'm going to bury that down deep like that, and that fits absolutely perfectly. So you've got the pot there and the first leaves that came out just peeking above the top of where the compost is going to go. We'll just start to fill that. It's a good idea when you're doing things like this, I always forget to do it, but to add a bit of polythene down on your table, or even to have a proper potting tray, I guess, so any scraps of compost, because there's all good stuff, can be saved. So all I do is just a little tap and a shake. I don't push it in, I don't do anything like that, just leave it like that. Make sure it's got plenty of compost across the top. So it's going to be nice and snug in its new home. And that's about it. You just want to really water this. Make sure you're labelling it. The amount of years where I've had things muddled up just because I haven't labelled it. You know, I know last year there was definitely a mix-up with some of my tomato plants, but I'm not doing it this year. But lots of labels, so I'm not going to get caught out. So now all I'll do really is give this a good water, and then we're ready to go. So, like I say, this is your next stage. After this, they can stay in this pot. I'm going to leave them in up until about mid-May, I think. So we're talking about another month and a half. And then from here, they'll go into the ground. And I'll show you that when I do it in about a month and a half's time. So good luck potting up your tomatoes. I hope you have fun. And fingers crossed we all have a great season. Thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe. I'm going to do lots more videos as we go along. A few more how-tos, but also just showing myself out in the garden, doing a few jobs, and once those harvests come in, I can get on with cooking some stuff on camera as well. So do come along for the ride, and yeah, thanks again for watching. See you next time.